Do we have any unanswered questions?
Yeah, I got there's a couple. I did see a question from Jen. She wants to know.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
She wants to know a little more about behind the scenes, or even during reunions, hijinks, tomfoolery, prankage. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind?
You guys already you already interviewed Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Did he talk to you about the gift giving process that went on during the shooting in people's trailers?
No.
No.
Didn't.
No.
I'm gonna get that kid. I'm gonna get him.
How can we delicately? Well, and honestly, I was not involved in this.
I'm going to bet that they probably didn't want you to play just because of size alone.
No, I just didn't. There was this group that was really just giving each other a wonderfully hard time the whole time, like just really messing with each other. And I think at one point somebody went into somebody's trailer and used the bathroom and didn't flush. Now, this escalated into somebody closing the toilet seat, using the bathroom with the toilet seat closed.
Nice.
Closing the trailer door, turning the heat on full. No! And then leaving for the entire day.
That's cause for a new trailer, isn't it?
Kinda, but you're gonna have to talk to Mr. Madio, to Mr. 200 push-ups in 30 seconds.
Oh no,
actually, I shouldn't give him a hard time about that, because when he came to boot camp, he was just like a dynamo. He was yoked, and he could do actually everything he said he could do.
Yeah.
So no, he was just because he knew, like you said, he came in there knew, and he was going to be one of the smaller guys, so he knew that he had the potential to people giving him a hard time. Nobody ever really did, because he's just he truly is a great guy, and he's a Bronx kid, so he's going to mess with him.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because we were talking with Shane Taylor last week, and he was talking about how Madio, you guys were out on your leave, and apparently he rushed like 5 British guys giving crap to you guys or something, and just put his hands up and ran at them screaming. And there was
an incident. Well, there was an incident that happened in one of the clubs down there. We had actually, had we started shooting? We were early on, I think, or we were coming up to one of our breaks, and this is something that was like if you were to see it, it would be something taken right out of like an old World War II movie. Jimmy was downstairs. He got into it with somebody. Someone was screwing around. Somebody yelled up something to the window, and he yelled something back, and then something was whatever, as guys will do sometimes. So Jimmy goes down to go talk to this guy, and somebody yells that Jimmy's getting into it with some guy downstairs, and literally the place emptied, like guys jumping over tables. And I'm serious. 75 guys came pouring out of this club down into the street to this thing, and it turned into it was a little mini riot, without a doubt. And we got control of the situation very quickly and got our guys out of there. But I mean, the cops were coming, and there were guys with no shirts on, and there were some guys who had t-shirts and overshirts, so we were pulling off the overshirts and putting them on the guys with no shirts, dressing them up, tucking it in, making throwing a hat on, look, okay, put your head down, walk this, it was very it was awesome. I remember the moment when because my wife was out with us too, and we were just like everyone was like, stay here, telling the ladies, stay here. And we just poured out of this place. I have no idea what the hell we thought we were going to do, what we thought we were, but it was, man, there was no way you were not running out that door with your buddies. And it was just, it was probably the most high school thing I had ever done, even including my high school experience. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Once again, let's revert back to 35-year-old man with a wife and kids and a house back home, and I'm running out to go have a bar fight in down in Soho.
yeah. The last time I did that, I ended up in jail. So nice restraint
Great.
on your end.
That would have been, you know what? Ultimately, that would have actually been even a better ending to the story.
Trust me, no matter where you are, jail sucks.
Yeah, we would have probably all been thrown in the drunk tank and then let out in the morning.
Well, Ross, he's been waiting patiently in the wings. He's just so nice of a Scotsman. He doesn't want to just jump in and say, "I have some questions," or "I'd like to say something." So I'm trying to give him the opportunity. I told him to open his mic and just start talking to us, but he won't do that. Ross, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Well, Michael, this is Ross. I don't know if you've talked before on the phone or on the Skype.
Not physically.
There you go. Ross Owen, Michael Cudlitz. Welcome, Ross, and thank you for being such a nice guy.
Oh, thanks, guys, and hello to Michael. Yeah, we've spoke on Facebook a few times, and I'm just so glad he's here tonight.
No worries, mate. How are you?
Do you know, we've got people in the chat room listening right now, and they're from all over the world. It's absolutely fantastic. We've got people from Brazil listening in. We've got people from England, Scotland, Canada, Spain, Italy, and Minnesota listening in.
And Tom in Minnesota.
And yet the questions are flying in, but we can't possibly ask you every single question. So I'm going to ask you a question from a guy called Unlock, who's in the chat room, and he wants to know if you fancy getting into, aside from acting, have you thought about doing directing, writing, or getting on the other side of the camera? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the natural progression for me is going to probably be producing and directing. I'm not a writer. I can writers are amazing people. I honestly don't. I don't get how they sort of come up from nothing with the spark of the idea that grows into these amazing projects that we see, excuse me, on film and television. That whole process is completely foreign to me. I do know when something doesn't work or needs fixing from a writing standpoint. I don't always know how to fix it, but I know when something doesn't work sometimes. But so far as producing and directing, that's where I think my future sort of aspirations lie. Probably producing first, and then directing second. I like getting the right sort of group of people together to do a project, because I think that's what it really comes down to. Is it's all personalities, and you get the right sort of combination, the right chemical mix in the room, and I think anything's possible.
Claire 105 in the chat room would like to know what it was like to work alongside Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. I know Steven Spielberg wasn't on the set as much as Tom was, but did you meet Steven Spielberg?
We met Steven briefly prior to filming. He came out and talked to us before boot camp, and that was just a really genuinely nice, generous man, and the sort of interaction I've had from him or with him since has been the same. He's everything you hope he would be. When you see his movies and you see his interviews, and you sort of envision what what is my sort of ideal picture of what I would hope him to be. That's who he is, or that's who he has been in my dealings with him. Now Tom Hanks as well. He's very focused on the work. He's a very smart man. Again, a very giving man. It's just everyone was there for the same purpose, and that's why I think that the project, does stand the test of time, and I think will, remain, one of the most amazing, projects depicting life during World War II that we've ever had. And those two men are greatly responsible for putting it, together.